Welcome back to Cats in Camo. This is the Ruger LC9 review part 2. This is a 7-round magazine in the Ruger. So we're just going to do 7 rounds. We have a torso target on the left and then 5 zombie heads in the middle and a torso on the right. The goal is 1 shot, 1 stop. So I've got 7 rounds and 7 targets. If I don't hit them all, assume the zombies ate me, and there will be a new co-host for Cats in Camo next episode. The Ruger LC9S. The show goes on. I get to co-host next episode. Sorry, Allie. All right, the LC9S. You are chambered. I was gonna say she's hot, but I'd get in trouble for that. All yours, Allie. Laser works now, doesn't it? Oh, nice shot.
Yeah, the laser was helpful on that
Laser
one.
works really well in the bowling alley.
All right, we are back from the range with our Ruger LC9S.
I have to admit, taking it out to the range was a lot better than the first part of the tabletop. And surprised me a lot. So let's just jump right into the review. We have 8 categories. We score things from 1 bullet to 5. Starting off with comfort of grip, it's average for a carry gun. It's a little bit, obviously, it's not just that it's small for my hands. With the scallops on the inside here, that narrows the grip even more. I feel a little bit like there's no purchase to the gun. I have front and back gripped, but the middle of the gun feels like it's not there. And it didn't actually affect my shots, but it affected my comfort level when I was shooting. It made me a little nervous and it felt kind of weird in my hands. So, 3.
I actually found this a little under my expectations. It almost seemed too narrow. I don't know, I have this kind of expectation that I'm going to have a certain amount of, I don't know, back grip or whatever. But I felt like my hands were overlapping almost too much because it was so narrow that I could just wrap around.
So, too narrow for you too?
Yeah, it was just too narrow, so I ended up giving it a 2.
Let's talk about the sights next. These are low profile, they don't catch on anything, they're 3-dot contrast. I liked them, they worked well on the range, but again, they were small and they worked fine, so I'm giving them a 3.
I would have to agree. They are 3 white dot sights. Again, it's a carry gun, so I don't expect anything spectacular out of it, but I do expect that on a carry conceal. So 3 out of 5.
Alright, well, now we're going to talk about the trigger. The earlier LC9s, and my wife carries one, and I don't like it. I just flat out do not like it. The LC9S, they revamped the trigger. This has the best trigger on the market for a concealed carry gun. For the tiny gun, Ruger hit it out of the park with this. It's even, it pulls almost straight back instead of the normal hinge where you're hooking. And it aided my shooting immensely. I was stunned by this trigger. I'm giving it a 5.
You and your wife have fun with that trigger because I didn't like it at all. I hated this trigger. I keep expecting and there's a couple times I actually flinched, which probably affected where my shots went, because I was like, it's gonna fire. Oh, it didn't fire. Oh, bam, there it goes. So it was just, there was a couple unexpected shots that, again, and then it just dropped my confidence level on firing it, and where is it gonna go? I have no idea. So I gave it a 1.
Let's talk about perceived recoil. It had kick because it's really light. It's 17 ounces empty. But it did a good job with the recoil. It wasn't unpleasant, but it wasn't great either. It just stayed right about where I expected and where I wanted it to. I'm giving it a 3.
I don't know if it's just me being weak or because I'm holding it wrong, but the recoil on this was unpleasant. It wasn't horrible, but, and again, I'm starting to expect a little bit of more of a kick, but I still didn't like it. It still was almost scary whenever it would go off, and I don't know, it just wasn't what I wanted in a recoil of a gun, so I gave it a 2.
Let's talk about accuracy. We still took this through the standard 9-shot steel course that we do for the full-size handguns, and I nailed all of them. That really surprised me how well this gun shot and how pleasant it was, and with the wonderful trigger and the accuracy. I'm giving it a 4 on accuracy.
I've never shot a gun with a laser on it, so this was the very first one, and so for the paper course, I totally forgot about it. I just shot and went for it because that's what I was used to. And then I realized afterwards, oh, there's a laser. I could have used the laser. That would have been nice to try. So I did on the specialty course. I used the laser on every target, and it was just like, knocked them all down.
It was pretty cool watching that red dot right in the middle of the bowling pin and then watching your shot hit there. That was pretty cool.
It was amazing. So for that reason, I did give it a 4 out of 5 for accuracy.
Well, let's talk about ease of reload. This gun is not bad. I gave it a 3. Figure it just felt kind of standard. The magazines drop clean, and they do require that you kind of slap the next one in hard, but I'm okay with that. Gave it a 3.
It did, again, seem like you couldn't just slide it in. You had to kind of, or it was like a double click. It was like, no, it's not all the way in, you know. So for that reason, it did fall short of my expectations, so I did give it a 2.
Let's talk about reliability then. This gun cycled properly every time and seemed to have a really good reputation in the market for that. And carry guns are notoriously picky on ammo, and we didn't seem to have any of those issues. I'm giving it a 4.
When firing this gun, it went boom when I pulled the trigger. Eventually, when I pulled the trigger. It didn't have any feed issues, and for the most part, again, especially with the laser, fairly accurate, fairly reliable. It's a cool thing, don't get me wrong, and I loved shooting with the laser, but I feel like giving it a higher score just because it has a laser doesn't quite seem fair. So for reliability's sake, I'm just going to give it a 3.
Ease of maintenance and cleaning. You watched me taking it apart, and we were able to carefully edit out any of the 4-letter expletives that do not belong on YouTube. I'm giving it a 2. I would give it a 1, except I understand that they had to make concessions for the size and to get it to work and to function with the trigger and the reliability and the accuracy that this gun has. There had to be a trade-off, and this is it.
I had to hear what you guys didn't have to hear, okay?
I'm sorry.
I'm too young for these words.
So am I.
And also the fact that technically Ruger wants you to use their tool, and if you lose it, and that's your only gun, you might be in a little bit of trouble. It just seems unnecessary. I'm so at a loss for words because I'm giving it a 1.
Well, let's total up our score. I actually gave this gun a 27.
My overall score only came out to an 18. Okay, this is a tiny, tiny gun. It can't run for that much money, right? The smaller the gun, the cheaper it is, maybe?
Well, truthfully, the MSRP on this gun is $479.
Wow.
The street value on it, you can usually find this for under $400, just under $400. and I believe that's without the laser now.
Oh,
They had some
okay.
deals with the laser, but the Crimson Trace laser is actually top of the industry, and it's a pricey laser. I'm guessing here, don't quote me on it. Crimson Trace, don't send me hate mail. Actually, do. It means you've been watching. I'm okay with that. Any attention. But I think the Crimson Trace laser for this is like $179.
Okay. I can see where that would play into the price.
So if that's the case, you're looking at about a $600 firearm right in front of you now. That didn't help
Jeez.
your
That did not
appreciation
help.
for the gun.
No, it didn't. But anyways, that's all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you liked this video, please point those crosshairs to the like button down below, because we want to know what you like. And actually, if you have any suggestions for other guns that you would like us to review, put those down in the comments. We'd love to know what you're interested in. And make sure you stay tuned also for more reviews coming soon. See you then. A misconception that I seem to have had coming into this channel is that a small gun is going to have not a lot of recoil to it. I'm finding that to be wrong.
You haven't liked any of the little carry guns we've shot?